the itch. We did all the modifications to the Magna, and I kind of want to ride it, so that's what we're going to do today. Welcome to Olson's Garage. So we're going to find out how bad is it really to ride in winter in Wisconsin. So since you last saw, we did some modifications to the Magna. Number one being our 4-into-1 exhaust. I still haven't come up with a tip, but for the meantime, because I want to ride this thing and just see how it feels, I just bolted this on, and then this actually fits fairly tight in here. So we're going to try that for today and see how it goes. But that is our first modification that we did. Our second modification I'm really excited about because this is going to make riding this thing a whole lot nicer. And that is going to be a different handlebar. So we had to buy a couple different handlebars to figure out which ones we like the most. But this one was the one that fit the best, being ergonomically, and could actually fit all of this stuff on the bar itself without clamping weird. I tried another cheaper version, and it was a little straighter, which was fine, but when I tried to clamp this down, I couldn't move the choke up and down, and this thing will not start without the choke, at least somewhat applied. Even in summer, it needs the choke to be able to work. So this pair of handlebars, obviously you can see the choke's able to work. The hand grip fits on all the way, so we're not loose back here. We're not loose back here. Everything fit. The both of our master cylinders, or slave cylinders, because it's for the clutch and for the front brake, both of those are at kind of a goofy angle now, because the old handlebars, the way they stuck, these were actually flat. These are no longer flat, so when we go to bleed those or replace the fluid, we're going to have a treat on our hands. We're going to have to figure something out. And with these being at a goofy angle now, our mirrors are at a goofy angle, so we may have to change something. Today is January 26th, and 2 weeks ago it was like a high of like 7 degrees most days, and it was like a low of like -10. And now, the week after that, this week before, I think there was like a low of 27 and a high of like 40. So that 100 inches of snow that we got is now melted into pretty much nothing. So just for funsies, and because we have modified the Magna a little bit, we're going to go for a test drive. But before we go on our test drive, there's a couple things I want to explain to you guys. So first off being with these handlebars, these were our old handlebars, and you can see them compared to the new handlebars. It allows you to kind of sit more with a forward lean, so it doesn't put as much pressure on your lower back, which is a big problem that I had with this thing. So hopefully these will make a big difference. We'll find out more on our test drive, and I'll come back and I'll explain to you guys kind of how it went. And then trying out our 4-into-1 exhaust, seeing if it sounds cooler, revving it out, getting it under load, things along that line. But one downfall with our 4-into-1 exhaust is that our center stand was hitting our rear brake. Let's grab a light. So as you can see, this rod here controls our rear brake, and this was hitting our rear brake and was causing it to push up. And short term, probably would have been fine, but I didn't want to wear this rod and then have my rear brake obviously not work. That's not safe. So we took care of that by coming to this other side. We took a piece of angle, welded on a piece of 1/4-inch steel, and cut a hole in it. And we mounted this to our shaft drive tube. And then we used our factory piece of rubber to rest on there now. And it sits almost in the factory spot. Before, this piece of rubber used to sit right here. So we have our new rubber. We ended up drilling a hole. Surprisingly, this worked. I was going to try and super glue it. And don't get me wrong, this is a fairly ugly design. I'll eventually make something better for this, or at the very least paint it. But just to try it out for this evening and try out how the Magna's working with all of our new modifications, I just wanted to get something on there and get her on the road. So We got all of our winter gear over here. We got our Carhartt jacket and our Carhartt Extremes bibs. We're gonna throw those on. We're gonna throw on our helmet. And I just mounted this Insta360 mount to the top. So you guys are gonna come with me and we're gonna see how this thing rides. So stay tuned. I'm not really sure if it's snowing or raining right now, because this stuff kind of does look like snow. That's for sure. Starting to turn into snow. So that's not ideal. I wonder if you guys can even hear me. We'll find out. wobble under deceleration. That's great. This is pretty fun though. That looks like a cop. No, officer, we're obeying the law. I can tell you these mirrors can go in the garbage. These don't work at all. Overall though, I'm fairly warm. I could ride like this all day. A snowmobile helmet would be an upgrade. People must think I'm nuts. Oop, can't say that. People must think I'm nuts. back a little bit even. They're a lot more comfortable though. Wish it would stop raining. That'd be ideal. I gotta chill out. That's enough. Ooh, it smells good. Someone's cooking. Oh yeah. That rain is definitely turning into ice and snow. That's definitely turning into ice. We gotta go home. So we made it back. Camera didn't fall off, which is awesome. The bike ran and we didn't crash it. And luckily the roads were wet but not icy. Towards the end of my ride though, it was questionable. I started like getting pelted in the face more and I was going slower speeds. And usually that means that the rain is turning into ice snow mix. So I boogied home quick. But we made it back, and my impressions are great. As you guys heard in the video already, the exhaust sounds awesome. Totally worth the time I put into it. It is amazing. I still need to put a better slip-on onto this thing, but the handlebar upgrade was awesome. It leaned me forward just enough where it wasn't hurting my lower back, and it made it feel a little bit more on the sporty side. I know, it's a cruiser. I'm still gonna ride it like a sport bike, like the CBR. But anyway, it has a sport bike engine, so that makes it okay, for sure. But huge downfalls. These mirrors, since the angle changed and these are now more inward, these don't work at all. These are for looks, and they look stupid. So these are getting replaced. Maybe we'll put some bar ends on, but this has to change. This is no good. So outside of that, definitely we need tires. That front tire is starting to get hard. And I noticed a crack in here, which is not good. But yeah, there's like nothing to these. I don't know how old these are, but these are getting changed. That rear one is getting changed. Maybe I'll think about maybe if we can find some parts. I want to potentially change these shocks. They bottom out on everything. The front forks kind of bottom out on everything, but it's really bad back here. Just with me on it, throw another person on it, and it's not great. We're gonna change our exhaust. We're gonna figure out something for that, because it's fine, but it does still leak out of here. And then obviously this doesn't seal very good. So when I first fired up the bike, you could feel it leaking on the bottom. You could feel it leaking through here. I mean, that will need to fabricate something better for this. I'm still looking around. I can't really find anything that's going to be like a bolt-up thing, so I'm probably going to have to go and fabricate something. I want it to end up kind of looking similar to this. Maybe not with the trumpet, but about that long and about at that angle. I think it'll look sweet. But what else do I have to say? I mean, I guess my final conclusions are, if you can find a 4-in-1 exhaust, and if you want your Magna to feel a little bit more sporty and actually sound good, handlebars and exhaust. Handlebars and exhaust make a world of a difference. Like, I was kind of debating about selling this. I was like, hey, Autumn, maybe we'll look into getting something else, maybe something cooler like RC36 VFR or something like that, so that it's a little bit more comfortable for her and cooler for me. But after doing the exhaust, it sounds much more V4-like, and after doing the handlebars, it feels a little bit more sporty, and it doesn't hurt my back. These are definitely 2 upgrades I would highly, highly recommend. And I guess overall, stay tuned for more Magna videos and more motorcycle content. So guys, if you like what we saw tonight, please like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and see what we got going on. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.